Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out yet another new camera from RunCam. They're just pumping out cameras left and right these days. This is a more of a full-size camera, and this is the Eagle2 Pro. And so they're adding a bunch of features into this one here. I think the same voltage range, 5 to 36 volts, but they're now doing audio out because there's a microphone in here. Plus you get the VBAT sensor and the on-screen display, which will show your battery voltage, pilot name, and flight time. Of course, you got your OSD connector there as well, and the OSD joystick is included along with alternative back and case, and along with the OSD pigtail, you get the same metal mount and screws and typical audio video cables. Those are all included. Now the thing about the Eagle2 Pro here, the big thing is they've combined the 16:9 and the 4:3 into a single camera. So I'm not exactly sure if it's how they're doing the sensor, if it's a 16:9 sensor and they're cropping it down to 4:3, if it's a 4:3 sensor and they're cropping it down to 16:9. You can see the field of view for 16:9 is 170 degrees and the field of view for the 4:3 is 140. So I'm thinking it's a 16:9 sensor and they're cropping it to 4:3. So maybe they're just they're just wanting to manufacture just the 16:9 sensor, and then they're cropping it down for this version to get the 4.3 and not actually selling a 4.3 sensor anymore. So I'm just going to open it up and we'll take a look inside and see what the sensor looks like. Okay, so I was able to get the back off, but this board is wedged in here really well, and I actually kind of wanted to change the case out to the other one, but this board is not coming out. It's going to be hard to see in the camera, but it is a 16:9 sensor there, and I'll put a little photo up here. A high resolution photo, you guys can see what the sensor looks like, but I won't be able to take this board out because it's pretty much wedged in there. There's a quick look at the chips that are on there. It's kind of hard to read the lettering on there, but you guys could take a closer look later if you want. Okay, so I got the camera plugged in now and transmitting to my FPV monitor. So we got your voltage there, your pilot name, and the power on time. The image looks pretty much the same as the Eagle2. It's sort of got that sort of digital artifacting, plus that sort of the temperature is very cool, but it does seem to shift between cool and neutral when you move it around. So I'm not sure if the algorithm has changed since then. Take a look at I got the joystick here, and I'll take a look at the settings here. Look at the other side of the wall here. And this looks like the same menu as on the Eagle2, but now we have screen format, and then here we can change our video standard from NTSC to PAL. I'm going to leave it on NTSC. So the default screen format is 16:9, and so you can kind of see how it looks on the in terms of the field of view. We got the bookcase over here. I'll set that to the right side, and then you can see the ceiling fan up top here, and then over here on the left is the side wall, and then you can kind of see the edge of the door right there. So it's a pretty wide field of view. They said 170 degrees. Looks like the vertical field of view is perhaps wider than on the Eagle2. I'll have to double check that, but it does look like that's improved. It's wider and both horizontally and vertically, it seems like. So I'll go ahead and I'll switch this to the 4.3 format, and we'll see how much of a reduction of field of view we get here. And yeah, it's quite a bit of a reduction here. It's cropped in on the side, so it's not quite as far over here on the right, and then on the left it is much less. The vertical field of view seems to be about the same, so it looks like what they're doing is they're taking the 16:9 sensor and they're just chopping off the left and the right. So I don't know, kind of mixed feelings about that. I'm not sure if I like that or not, but if you got the 16:9 goggles, I definitely like the 16:9 field of view. So I'm gonna, since I fly with the Dominator V3s, I will be leaving it on 16:9. That looks pretty good to me. And let's see, we'll look at some of the other settings here. So under image, we got max gain of 9, wide dynamic range on, image enhance. I'm gonna put that lens cap on here. It's easier to see the menu with the lens cap on. So under image enhance, we have sharpness, saturation. So it looks like they've went, usually the auto is set for the default. Now they're changing it to manual, and it looks like they have values of 6 and 6. So I think that's why the image doesn't look as pixelated. I'm gonna actually lower these. I like this to be at like 4 and the edge value to be about 4. So a little bit, it softens the image a little bit better. And then saturation here, they left that at auto, and I'm gonna change that to manual. And I think it goes to 15. I believe my my favorite was like kind of halfway in the middle, like 8. So I'm going to do that and return, and then brightness, I think that's about what I like if I remember right. And then I don't do zoom in. And I'm going to change actually the max gain as well. I'm going to lower that a little bit to 7. Let's see what this image looks like. So this is the software version. This is 2017 09 20. So that's September 20th. That's pretty recent. So they might have changed some of the algorithm. Alright, let's see what that image looks like now. And that's a little, it's a little less saturated, so I guess that reduces the coolness and the warmness effect, which, and it doesn't look like it's switching back and forth as much. So it looks a little bit more neutral. The artifacting looks a little bit less. You can see there on the logo here, it's not as artifacted on the box. It looks more smooth, and the lines on the, you can see on the closet there, is still a little pixelation there. It's not as bad as before. So this looks like pretty good settings. I'll probably fly on this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this to the field, and we'll get some flight footage of this camera. Okay, so I wanted to double check the field of view on the Eagle2, and apparently I have the 4.3 version of the Eagle2, and actually I'm not even sure if they made a 16.9 version of the Eagle2, so I'm just going to show you this field of view on the Eagle2. Obviously this is much less than on the 4.3 on the Eagle2 Pro. You can see that it doesn't quite go as high. The ceiling fan is invisible now, and it's not. I think it's about as wide, so you can see like these little storage cabinets here on the side. So the width is about the same, but the vertical field of view is a little bit less. So I'm thinking that they probably increased the size of the sensor on the Eagle2 Pro compared to the Eagle2. So the image quality of this camera, the Eagle2 Pro, seems to be about the same as the Eagle and the Eagle2, but the field of view is definitely wider on the vertical and horizontal field of view, and in the goggles they look really great. The 16:9 widescreen aspect, no complaints there. The image on the DVR recording is a little dark compared to what I saw in the goggles. In the goggles, the image seemed a little bit more vibrant. The DVR recording seems a little bit darker, a little bit more dull. Not really sure why that is, but it looked really good in the goggles when I was flying it around. And you can hear the audio as well coming through on the mic. So far I'm liking the look of the image. The grass looks natural, the sky looks natural, colors look good. It doesn't look quite as pixelated as before. Maybe I need to adjust things a little bit more. I mean, it kind of depends on what you're looking at. Sometimes you're looking at the trees, the leaves and stuff. You get that shimmering effect. It kind of comes and goes. I'm not really sure what the YouTube compression is going to do this. Usually, the YouTube compression butchers the videos, so you may see more digital artifacting than I'm seeing here while I'm doing this voiceover. So you can see also up there the shimmering in the stadium lights when the sunlight's reflecting off of them. So yeah, some of that stuff's still there. I think they may have improved it a little bit, but yeah, I can definitely still see it there. But I love the colors and the high resolution image and the widescreen aspect ratio and the field of view. All of these are, I think, improvements from the previous version. Anyway, guys, just a first look at the Eagle2 Pro. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this. I'll have some more videos later on. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them in the later videos. and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.